The Princess of Wales reveals she has cancer in a touching video.
My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment.
Plus, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle found out about Kate's cancer with the rest of the world. Royal author Christopher Anderson helps us break it all down.
When you try and manipulate things the extent that they were doing with Kate, it just always falls apart.
And stars rallied to support the princess following months of conspiracy theories, and some offer their apologies. We've got that plus so much more in today's Royally Us. Hey everyone, I'm Christina, and that's Christine, and welcome to a sad and shocking week of royal news.
Yeah, the news that everyone's heard by now regarding the Princess of Wales and her health was shocking and really upsetting to lots of people. So I think we should just break down all the details and talk about it together.
Definitely. Yeah, let's get right into it. Like you said, she posted, she confirmed that she's undergoing treatment for cancer diagnosis. And this is 2 months after she was hospitalized for surgery. She referred to the news as a huge shock, noting her and William's plans to manage this privately for the sake of their family. Here is a look at some of the video. Take a look.
However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment.
Following the video, they shared a joint statement after the outpouring of support for Kate's battle. They said in a statement, the prince and princess are both enormously touched by the kind messages from people here in the UK, across the Commonwealth, and around the world in response to Her Royal Highness's message, They are extremely moved by the public's warmth and support and are grateful for the understanding of their request for privacy at this time. So they have been processing the news of her cancer diagnosis for the past few weeks. And a source tells us they wanted to wait to tell the world the news until their children were off a school break for Easter so they could have time to process the news before the whole world was talking about it, which is understandable. Another source told Us Weekly that the day the family found out was the day William canceled going to the memorial of his godfather, King Constantine of Greece. Yeah, like you said, I think this took a lot of people by surprise. And, you know, so many people were, I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but joking, making these conspiracy theories, pushing her to make these announcements about her health. I mean, myself included, were like, why isn't she talking about it? You know, and I think when you take a step back and come at it from a mother's perspective, that she wanted to protect her children and kind of process this information in the privacy of her family is totally understandable. I just don't think anybody even thought that maybe cancer was a possibility.
Yeah, I do think because Kensington Palace had initially indicated that it was not related to cancer, we had all written that off. And we now know from the princess's statement that further testing after the procedure confirmed that cancer was present, but they didn't know that at the time. And all of this information, this is private information for the Prince and Princess of Wales to process in their own time. And so now that she's made this statement, there's so much more understanding. Now we understand the silence, the lack of updates, and the decisions that were made. It all makes a lot more sense. I think it's a lesson, and we might talk more about this later, but it's a lesson in, you know, giving people space and privacy that when they ask for it.
Right. No, you're so right. And they did, you know, going back to it, Kensington Palace gave a timeline from the beginning. They said until Easter. And I think it was just the mounting of, you know, the photo being, you know, doctored and things like that. And then these affair rumors that were just kind of, this snowball effect just kept going and going and going. And then they weren't doing anything to kind of put out any of these fires. But now we know why. So it was just a series of unfortunate events that kind of culminated in this really upsetting and sad circumstance. But it seems like she is undergoing the cancer treatment. She said that she is feeling as good as she can, and she's feeling stronger every single day. So hopefully, and this is preventative chemotherapy, she said, so she's really taking the measures to make sure that she is okay. They didn't indicate what type of cancer that she has, but like you said, we did know that she went in for an abdominal surgery, and upon further testing, that's where they found it.
Yes, she really did stress that she is well. And it does sound like from what she said and the guidance given by the palace that the cancer was removed during that abdominal procedure. And this chemotherapy is preventative to make sure that she is completely healthy and there's no more cancer cells lurking anywhere else. And I think she's done a really great job in this message, which was so moving. She's so vulnerable and it was really touching to watch. But she is trying to impress upon us, but also for her children, that she's well, she's getting stronger every day, and she's taking the time to take care of herself.
And like you said, she was, so poised and so well spoken in this video. And I think one of her friends told the Sunday Times it allowed her to speak directly to the public, who overwhelmingly have always been with her and her family and who don't buy into the noise and gossip. It was all her. She wrote every word of it. It came together very quickly. And yeah, I mean, you can tell that, the fact that she was able to just keep it together, I wouldn't have been able to do that. But yeah, you could tell that she was speaking directly from the heart and, just so classy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, true elegance in the face of a real personal conflict. I mean, this is such a scary situation, scary diagnosis for so many people. And it was really brave of her to sit there not crying, because I think I would have been in buckets of tears, and share this with the world, because I think she understands the relationship that she has with the public, and to speak to them directly and come to them directly with this information. It helps cement that relationship and ensured that this outpouring of support that we mentioned earlier was inevitable, because people love her and support her and really care for her well-being. And I think the video message just went a long way to connect with the people.
Definitely. Well, in the wake of all of this, Buckingham Palace released a statement regarding her health. They said the princess will return to official duties when she is cleared to do so by her medical team. She is in good spirits and is focused on making a full recovery. The palace told Us Weekly in a statement as well, noting Prince William will continue to balance supporting his wife and family and maintaining his official duties, as he has done since the start of the year. Now, in a statement per ABC, King Charles stated, His Majesty is so proud of Catherine for her courage and speaking as she did. Following their time in the hospital together, His Majesty has remained in the closest contact with his beloved daughter-in-law throughout the past weeks. Both their majesties will continue to offer their love and support to the whole family throughout this difficult time. Now, as we know, the king is also undergoing his own cancer treatment, and they have reportedly gotten pretty close during this time, with a source telling the Sunday Times the king has always had a close, warm, and unique relationship with the princess. She has a great love and respect for him and his position. When they were in the hospital together, there was a lot of toddling down the corridor to spend time with her. He has been encouraging and supporting her throughout. I really like that story. I think it's wonderful. There's also reports that her mother, Carol Middleton, has been with her, staying with her to help her recuperate. So it seems like she has a really strong team around her.
Absolutely. We know that her family is hugely supportive. Lots of family has posted on social media supporting her, and that close-knit community that keeps, I think, is what keeps the Prince and Princess of Wales sane in their unique situation. Having that family structure, that family support, is invaluable, especially at times like these.
Definitely. And we did hear that the king and queen will be attending Easter services. So I think that will be really nice for the public to see, especially the king really in public, attending these services and showing that, throughout his cancer treatment as well, he has been pretty present, but it's nice that they'll be out in the public and probably greeting people as well.
Yes, I think just a little shred of normalcy for the people to see the king at this annual church service will go a long way, because obviously this is a very nervous time for people who care about the royal family. It's nerve-wracking and upsetting. So to have that consistency on Easter Sunday, I think will be really nice.
Definitely. Well, the Duchess of York shared a post on social media expressing her support for the Princess of Wales. She wrote on Instagram, "All my thoughts and prayers are with the Princess of Wales as she starts her treatment. I know she will be surrounded by the love of her family, and everyone is praying for the best outcome." As we know, the Duchess of York, she also added, "As someone who has faced their own battles with cancer in recent months, I am full of admiration for the way that she has spoken publicly about her diagnosis and know it will do a tremendous amount of good to raise awareness. I hope she will now be given the time, space, and privacy to heal. As we know, she is battling skin cancer herself, so she knows and has been very public about what she has been through. So it was nice for her to lend her support as well.
Yeah, I think this was a lovely message. And we've spoken about how the Duchess of York's outspokenness about her diagnoses can only lead to helping people. And the Princess of Wales, the same way, her openness and her honesty about her diagnosis, it having been undetected initially, can only lead to awareness and hopefully more people getting checked and sort of pushing those issues a little bit further so that we can all take care of our health a little bit better.
Right. All right. Well, Prince Harry and Meghan have reportedly been in touch with William and Kate. The ITV royal editor, Chris Shipp, said Prince Harry has reached out to his brother, Prince William, after learning of Kate's cancer. They said that Harry and Meghan have both been in touch with their brother, sister-in-law, but did so privately. It is not clear if that was a phone, video call, or some messages of support. Meghan and Harry did make a statement and share their sympathies and well wishes. They said, "We wish health and healing for Kate and the family and hope they are able to do so privately and in peace." The Times said that several sources did confirm that Kate's diagnosis was not shared with Harry and Meghan in advance. A family source also told People magazine that Harry and Meghan were left out of any details regarding Kate's diagnosis and that there is clearly no trust. I mean, that's not very surprising. It seems like there's really no communication between William and his brother, so I can't imagine that they would have given him a heads up, but it is kind of sad to see it's gotten to that point, especially because Kate and Harry were so close too.
Yeah, it is difficult to sort of be faced with this truth that William clearly can't trust his brother. But I do think that this was a very closely guarded secret. We've heard that only William and Kate's closest, nearest and dearest family knew about Kate's diagnosis because they needed to keep it a secret until they were ready to tell the children. And the only way to keep it a secret was to tell pretty much no one and to ensure that it stayed as close as possible.
Yeah, no, I mean, we got reporting too that even her senior staff didn't really even know what was going on. So this was a very close guarded secret and, rightfully so. Well, like we were talking before, Hollywood is sending their well wishes to Princess Kate. Maria Shriver said, "Now I hope everyone will leave her alone and allow the privacy she and her family need." Katie Couric added, "As someone who has experienced cancer, I was deeply moved by her comments, sending her and her family healing thoughts." This comes as singer Halsey came to the princess's defense, writing on Instagram, "Hope the people in media who sensationalized a woman's desire for privacy following a known health incident are experiencing regret and remorse. And by the way, that would stand even without the terrible news of her journey." She added, "I understand that when you have a public life, certain things like this can get out of hand, but God forbid someone needs a few weeks or months. It's no one's business why." Now, this comes as Blake Lively apologized for making fun of Kate's photoshopping skills ahead of the cancer diagnosis. She wrote on Instagram, "I'm sure no one cares today, but I feel like I have to acknowledge this. I made a silly post around the Photoshop fails frenzy, and oh man, that post has me mortified today. I'm sorry, sending love and well wishes to all always." This was in regards to her promoting her Betty Buzz company. She in a since deleted post, she edited a picture of herself on an older woman's body. So it seems like a lot of people are now backtracking, making light of this, making a joke of this. I know Meghan came from Real Housewives of Orange County, hired a psychic to try to find her. She has now backtracked. The host of The View, they have now apologized for kind of feeding into this frenzy. But yeah, like we were saying, this is just not the way to treat people that ask for space.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a real lesson that you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and we don't know what's going on in people's private lives. And it just because someone's in the public eye, it does not make them, joke material or sort of, you can't joke about people's private lives like this. And this really went out of control. We've talked about it a lot lately, but just the depth and the disturbing nature of some of these conspiracy theories and how deeply convinced people were that something was amiss here. And actually, the only thing that was amiss was that the Princess of Wales's health was worse than we thought, and she needed space and privacy as she had requested. And I think the outpouring of support from celebrities, we heard from, I think, Jenna Bush Hager today, Stephen Colbert has sort of backtracked a bit as well. Everyone's learning a really, really hard lesson from this, because ultimately the Princess of Wales, she's a nice person, she's uncontroversial, and yet she was really hung out to dry and really dragged through quite a lot of mud during this time when it was probably one of the worst times of her life.
Right. All right. Well, let's discuss this further. If things could have been handled differently, what is next for the royal family? So let's break down the royal rules with our friend Christopher Anderson. Take a look. Yeah. Do you feel like this is now maybe a wake-up call for the royal family? But maybe not so much Charles and Camilla, because they have been very forthcoming in his cancer treatment. But do you think that this maybe is a wake-up call for William, that maybe he has to shift things a little bit?
I don't know if he'll take it that way. I think he's very angry, and I think he's been kind of on edge this entire time, blaming the press. He's always hated the press, blames his mother's death on the press, and he puts up with them, but barely. So I'm not sure he's going to change his ways. And there's a contrast there. Had they come forward on February 27th, 28th, when they learned that she indeed had cancer, in the way that the king had. The king said they found cancer. Yes, everyone's shocked, stunned, but it blows over rather quickly. Right. And there were no conspiracy theories about him at that point. And I think the same thing would have happened with her. Rip the Band-Aid off. Yes, it's difficult, but the public can handle it. When you try and manipulate things, the extent that they were doing with Kate, it just always falls apart. And we'll have to wait and see what we get in the future. We don't even know where they are right now. We have no idea where the family is. And we still don't know where Camilla spent her vacation.
Do you feel like this has brought William and Kate even closer together?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my God. It's brought everyone closer together, even Camilla and William. I mean, there's no love lost between them in the past. Both William and Harry, we know, tried to talk their father out of even marrying her. They only agreed to it when he said he'd never make her queen. And when Charles did make Camilla his queen, they felt they'd been stabbed in the back. Harry wrote about this in his memoir, Spare. But now William and Camilla are inevitably drawn together because, this is the love of her life, King Charles. She's, he's battling cancer. That's William's father battling cancer. William has the double whammy of having to see his father deal with this and his wife with the young children there. So I think this will, as time marches on here, they're going to have to all come together. And I think there's a lot more empathy on Camilla's part, by the way, for Kate and William now. Again, Kate and Camilla were never close. Camilla tried to talk Charles over the years out of, allowing William to marry her because she felt it kind of below the salt, as it were, that she wasn't aristocratic enough at all. So it's an interesting family dynamic that's now shifting. The one person who's on the outs, though, is Harry. He's not going to be welcomed into this.
What does the future hold?
Well, I think they feel now that they've got this little breather. But indeed, they feel that that's been resolved now. Kate has addressed this and she's done it in a spectacular fashion. And now leave us all alone and let us deal with this behind the scenes. Again, realistically, that's not going to happen. So they better use this time they have now to figure something out because the monarchy is in crisis. The royal family is in crisis. There's no question that unless, they can come up with a better way of handling these kinds of developments. And other things going on behind the scenes, too. The one member of the royal family, just in the midst of all of this, or not a member of the royal family, well, by extension, his own life. That just normally that would be the big headline, but that dwarfed by everything else, overshadowed by everything else. So, and Fergie is battling melanoma. So a lot of stuff is going on, a lot of bad stuff is going on, and they're going to have to deal with it.
All right, well, let's spill the royalty. And in the midst of all of this was a big story. So Rose Hanbury is prepared to take legal action to shut down speculation that she had an affair with Prince William. In Touch confirmed that Hanbury's lawyer sent a legal notice to The Late Show with Stephen Colbert after he poked fun at rumors she was unfaithful with Prince William back in 2019 and linked the alleged affair to speculation about Prince's Kate's whereabouts during her surgery. In a statement, her lawyer said the rumor appears to have entered into the mainstream media recently as a result of another joke made about it on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. We have written on our client's behalf to CBS and to various other reputable media organizations to confirm that the allegation is false. Now, while Stephen, like you said before, did not acknowledge the legal battle, he did apologize on his show, saying there's a standard that I try to hold myself to, and that is I do not make light of somebody else's tragedy. Far too many of us know that any cancer diagnosis of any kind is harrowing for the patient and for the family. He added, though I'm sure they don't need it from me, I and everyone here at The Late Show would like to extend our well wishes and heartfelt hope that her recovery is swift and thorough. But yeah, no, Rose Hanbury is not messing around. She does not want these allegations and these false rumors to go even further, especially now that Kate has come forward with her diagnosis.
Yeah, I honestly think good for Rose. I think she should have done this a long time ago because these rumors got out of control. And I think, again, as soon as the US mainstream media picked it up and was really, throwing these horrendous accusations around, really, really unkind, damaging things to someone who is a private citizen. She does not lead a public life. She is not supported by the taxpayer. She has a right to privacy, and having these horrible rumors spread in jest, like for a good joke and a good punchline. I'm really glad that she finally said enough is enough and sent this legal letter.
Definitely. All right. Well, let's end on a positive note. On our pint-sized palace, let's end with some joy. Princess Eugenie turned 34 on March 23rd, and she's spent it holding her family extra close. She wrote on Instagram, "The best gift of all are my boys. So on this birthday, I'm cherishing family and loved ones." She shared a photo of herself holding one of her two sons. So this was definitely a great way to mark her birthday, and I'm sure everybody in the royal family is holding each other a little bit closer during these days.
Definitely. This was a really sweet post. It was nice. I hope she had a happy birthday, and I think it was really well written given everything that's going on within the family.
Definitely. All right. Well, that is it for this week's episode of Royally Us. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments. Keep subscribing. And Christine, thank you so much as always.